Okay, so here we are at my stamping table, and the purpose of this tutorial is to show you how to cut an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock into a standard size card. So what you're going to need is obviously some cardstock, and you're going to need a cutting tool, and my choice are the two cutters that Stampin' Up! Offers. And the first one I'm going to show you is the Fiskars Triple Track. It's a triple track because it has 3 tracks. This is the cutting blade here, and there's three areas. There's this side, there's the middle cutting part, and there's also the other side, and it fits into these 3 tracks, and it avoids that little weave that you get, a wave, when you are cutting your cardstock. It also has an arm that extends out, and I'm going to use that arm because I'm going to need to cut the cardstock in half. So this is 8.5 by 11, and I'm going ahead and cut it on the 11 side, and I'm going to cut it at 5.5, which I already have marked on my cutter. And I'm just going to put this arm down, and I'm just going to cut it straight down. And that's going to cut my cardstock in half. Now the next thing that I'm going to show you is the choices that you have for folding the card. What you could do is you can just take it simply and fold it in half with your hands. I'm going to move this out of the way for 1 second. And then you're going to take the Stampin' Up! Bone folder, okay? And you're just going to use this edge, and you're going to make a nice sharp crease, and you're just going to run down the edge. And that's going to go and give you the card. So you can see this is just a standard card that opens, typical like you've seen many, many times before. The other option that you do have for scoring is to take your triple track, again, and on the 8.5 side, you're going to score it at 4.25. Okay, so you can put your cardstock at 4.25. You're going to put the arm down, and you're just going to gently pull the black blade down. It is still a blade, and you're going to see that you're going to get a little score mark there. And then you're going to use that to fold it in half, just as your guide. Again, you're going to use the bone folder to make that nice sharp crease that you never be able to get with your hand. Okay, so this is what we have so far. It's a standard card that opens. So I'm going to show you some examples that I have of standard cards that opened, that I just cut, stamped, and I cut. So it looks exactly the same as the one that I just showed you. Okay, here's another example of another card. Again, same idea, just cut in half. Okay, so that's the option for cutting it on that angle. The other option that you have is that you can also change the orientation. This is the same orientation as I showed you before. As you can see, you can just open it this way, or you can turn it, and then you could have a card that opens this way. So that's your other option. 1 cut, 2 choices. The other option that you have is to cut the cardstock on the 8.25 side at the 8.5 side at 4.25. And that's going to give you a different look to your card. I'm going to show you that. And just slide that back in there. And we're going to move this over to 4.25. And then I'm just going to slide this down, and I'm going to cut my cardstock in half. So you can see I have the 2 pieces. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this arm out, and I'm going to take this blade out. I'm going to use my scoring blade, and I'm going to score this at 5.5, because that's the half side of this paper. Okay, and you're going to see that now we have another way to fold a card, just a different option. Take the bone folder again, fold that down. So now you have a card that can either open this way, or, again, 2 choices that can open this way. Show you an example. Here I'm going to take this cardstock. I'll cut it at 4.25 for you. Okay, 4.25. I'm going to choose to fold it in half, bypass the scoring, whichever you're comfortable with. Okay, take my bone folder, make a nice sharp crease here. And I'm going to just layer this right on top of here. I've already put some adhesive on. Alright, to celebrate friendship, good times. And then we're just going to open the card this way. Oh, my adhesive's coming off. So those are the 2